players and playtesters, it's Railroader. There's a saying in model railroading about the different scales that goes something like this. Tier scale, the largest of the three common scales, is for people who like the locomotives, HO scale is for people who like trains, and S scale is for people who like railroads. A Railroader is a game for people who like railroads. You start out with a scrappy little short-line railroad with about 5 miles of track and 1.5 locomotive, a caboose, a passenger car, some logging flats, at $2,500 for a dream. There's been a flood that west of the bridges connecting you to the rest of the branch, and the big railroad that used to operate in the area has sold the rights of the song. Your ultimate goal is to rebuild and restore the line to its full 60-mile long glory, repairing bridges, buying locomotives, expanding yards and facilities, and even modernizing with the authentically modeled 1950s centralized train control signals and diesel locomotives. Railroader focuses on what train people call the operations level, which means the logistics and management of freight car movement on the railroad. The game supports the aim very well, with a system of contracts and wheel bills that create realistic traffic for the player with wheel widths. Cars arrive at the interchange yards tagged for their destinations and have to be delivered by the player. Once loaded or unloaded, the waybills flip and the cars are returned to the interchange, with the player getting paid at both ends. The game really nails the realism of railroad operations. It's fun to deliver cars with a purpose and get paid for doing it. Other train games like Run 8 have the head waybill system, but Railroader adds a company management aspect that expands on the concept. One thing I really liked was that most of the milestones you pay for expand and upgrade the railroad also involve delivering cars for materials to the job site and then returning them to the interchange. Stable and functioning multiplayer co-op over Steam only enhances this gameplay loop. If you can find friends of gaming buddies in to play as engineers, conductors, yardmasters, and dispatchers, the amount you can done on the railroad skyrockets. I'd classify the locomotive simulation as simplified. There is no firing simulation, steam locos simply consume water and coal and stop working if they run out. Wheel slip is supposedly simulated, although there is no sand and I've never seen wheels slip, so it might be overtuned. There are different weather conditions, though that we have to be set with the console commands and have no physical effect on the adhesion. Shout out to weather fog at the night though, it's spooky. Couples cannot brake. You can derail if you curve too fast or hit the car too hard, though the cars stay attached to the spline of the rails and come off a few feet at most. Derailed cars can easily be reroute with a few button presses you can get on with your wife. Rolling stock can be damaged by derailing or being hit too hard, though the damage model is very simple. Damaged locomotives consume more water and coal, and damaged cars will derail more easily in the future. You also get a payment penalty for delivering damaged interchange cars. You can repair damage at your engine facilities if you need to. On the plus side, the brake simulation feels pretty good. Glad hands and the angle cocks are modeled. You can bottle and dump air to kick cars and stop them. There are animated walking handbrakes, and all the brake pistons and shoes and locomotives and cars operate and animate, which is kinda awesome. Train and independent brakes work like you'd expect, and the small applications of the train brake are pretty effective. Personally, I think the brake pipe recharges just a bit too quickly, but it could be attuned that way for the gameplay reasons. Nobody wants to wait minutes for their brakes to recharge. Do be sure to turn the draw distance, vegetations and tree density up if your GPU and handle it. It makes the game a lot prettier. All in all, Railroader is one of the more exciting train games releases I've had in a while. The combination of realistic operations, economic management, and multiplayer co-op is unique to the genre. The game is stable and playable, with all the core gameplay loops present. While some cosmetic details are raw, we can reasonably expect improvement soon. If you're a person who likes railroads, it's an absolute buy.